Hey everyone, my name's Peter Menzies. I'm an environmental educator with Asheville Greenworks, and today I'm going to be talking about composting. Now you've probably heard of composting before. It involves collecting organic materials, things like food scraps and leaves, mixing them together and then letting them break down or decompose. Doing this helps us send less waste to landfills, can reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and provides us with a natural source of fertilizer for growing plants. Now typically when I think of composting, the first thing that pops into my head is a pile or a bin in a backyard, like this. But composting doesn't just happen in backyards. This same process takes place on a much larger scale in what are known as commercial or industrial composting facilities. These facilities decompose huge amounts of organic waste. They're designed to break down all these items as efficiently as possible, and they do this by maintaining just the right amounts of air, water, and nutrients. The microbes that are responsible for breaking everything down love this, and the piles get hot. Keeping the piles at a perfect temperature, somewhere between 130 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit, gets rid of dangerous bacteria, kills weed seeds, and can break down compostable plastics. Most backyard compost, on the other hand, won't be able to stay at that perfect temperature. And it's important to know all this because there are certain things that we can send to an industrial facility that we don't want to put in our backyards. Let's talk about the differences. We'll start with animal products. Things like meat, bones, and dairy are all technically compostable, but as they break down, they get really stinky. Not only is this gross, it also attracts pests. Because of this, it's better to keep these items out of your backyard compost, but it's totally fine to send them to most industrial facilities. Now let's talk about compostable plastics. You may have seen compostable plastic items at restaurants, things like cups, utensils, and straws. These items are compostable, but they require a lot of heat to break down. Most backyard composts won't stay hot enough for them to decompose, so they should only go to industrial facilities. It's also really important to remember that compostable plastics cannot go in the recycling. Some more examples of items that can go to industrial facilities, but won't do so well in a backyard setup, include things like sweets, pet food, and even natural fabrics like cotton, wool, and hemp. Before we wrap things up, let's take a look back at what we've learned. Composting is the process of decomposing organic materials. It provides several benefits to the environment. Many people compost in their backyards, but it also happens at large facilities. The piles at these facilities maintain high temperatures, and so they can handle some items that backyard composts can't, particularly items like animal products and compostable plastics. That's all we've got for today. Thanks for tuning in.